Godzilla has faced off against world destroyers before, like Ghidorah and the Mutos, and came out victorious. But could he defeat this new alien monster who, like Ghidorah, can change the entire climate and atmosphere of a planet? And also has a few tricks that even Godzilla's arch-nemesis Ghidorah did not. Most importantly, the ability to take on the traits of a planet's most powerful beings, and then to use them to complete its goal of worldly destruction and mayhem. Who is this monster who is more deadly than Ghidorah? Find out now. Griffixis, the final and most villainous of all the monsters in the Titanic Creations lineup of kaiju. Stay tuned to the end of the video where we will have a special story on this beast and we will compare it with the king of the monsters Godzilla, to see if it could survive in the monsterverse. But let's first describe this new beast and find out just what makes it so deadly. On the surface, this beast may look familiar. That's due to it evolving once landing upon Earth, and taking on the attributes of some of the mightiest beings it came in contact with, a lion and an eagle. This combination of a four-legged animal with a long tail, along with giant wings and a razor-sharp beak, is why it came to earn the name Griffixis here on planet Earth. The lion's body allows it to run and maneuver with ease through almost any terrain, and with the wings, it can leap off at a moment's notice and be soaring through the skies. It can climb up the side of mountains, fly at the speed of sound, glide through dense forests, and run at speeds as fast as a race car in open terrain. In terms of speed and agility, Griffixis is near the top. The black and golden colorations of this monster mean that it likely came from a planet where the environment was bright and desert-like in fashion. Now, if we use our imaginations, we could even say that it came from the same planet that Ghidorah came from, as the two share quite a few of the same traits. Just like how Ghidorah likes to see its prey suffer before brutally killing them, Griffixis enjoys a similar style of hunting. Having tentacles that shoot out from its mouth, it can grab its prey and hold it in place while it unleashes a hellish weapon. Acidic breath that eats the flesh off its victims in a manner that doesn't kill them but allows them to see their skin, fat, muscles, everything be eaten away by the acid. The only thing to end their suffering is when the acid eventually made it to their vital organs and their bodies and minds shut down, bringing brutality and gore to a whole new level. A monster that can steal the best aspects of any life form it comes in contact with, including brain power smart as a human, and then have acidic breath that devours all living tissue. This is the reason why this monster has come to be known as a world destroyer. Nosferodon, a monster we covered on the channel already, had its own planet completely destroyed by Griffixis, or at least the pathogen that it originates from. Now that you've become familiar with Griffixis, let's hear the story of a woman who came in contact with the alien in some past time.
I was working a busy night at the Thirsty Gate. Outside, the horses suddenly cried out. Torvald went out to check, and that's when the flapping started, like a giant bird had flown right over our heads. Torvald screamed. He ran in, his face a mass of green boils and arms melted into stumps. Just then the walls began to warp and twist. It looked like the wood was rotting before my eyes. Everyone started screaming. The green mist billowed in from all around. My skin and eyes began to burn. The walls fell apart, and that's when I saw it. The flying demon. Yellow skeletal wings. Devilish face breathing out death all around. I guess I was lucky. No one else survived to even tell the story.
Only one question remains. How does Griffixis stack up to Godzilla? Side by side with Godzilla, this alien is significantly smaller. The height of this monster from the bottom of its feet to the top of its wings comes in at 70 meters or 230 feet, or 40 meters 131 feet at the shoulder level. Wingspan 90 meters or 300 feet, and weighing in at 55,000 tons. Comparing this to Godzilla, who comes in at 393 feet, Griffixis looks something more like a dog compared to a human when stacked up against the G-Man. But this is due to one significant problem. Griffixis in its purest form can be compared to something like the alien symbiote from the Marvel character Venom. It needs a host, or in this case, multiple hosts, in order to grow and evolve. Taking on the absolute best traits of each planet's superior species, Griffixis, upon reaching Earth, took on traits from some of our planet's most dominant predators. The body of a lion, the wings of an eagle, and the mind of a human. Hence the name Griffixis, being based on the mythological griffin. So with this ability, if Griffixis was ever to come in contact with Godzilla in the Monsterverse, the alien monster would adapt and steal the identity of Godzilla, or at least his most prominent and effective aspects. So while the monster is half the size of Godzilla in its own world, if it were to ever come in contact with the G-Man, it would likely grow to a similar size and stature of Godzilla. In the Monsterverse, Godzilla has yet to face a foe that has this sort of ability, and we see just how much he suffered against Ghidorah while fighting on land. But if anyone could stop such a threat, we know the G-Man would be the one to do it, giving us plenty of reasons to say that yes, Griffixis would do wonders in the Monsterverse set of Titans. Well, what do you think? Griffixis is the last monster you can purchase in this line of kaiju, and if you use the link in the description, you will be able to get the figure at a great deal, so don't wait. If the lore alone isn't enough to convince you, here is my review for the figure.
Alright guys, welcome to the real world. This is my face, and this is Griffixis. Now, I think some of you are really going to like this monster straight up just from the colors alone. The classic black and yellow or black and gold combo. If you're a Steelers fan, if you're over here in the States, or I'm sure there's all sorts of other cool, maybe your favorite sports teams, or just in general, this is a great color combination that's going to fit really good up on your shelf. Now, I want you all to let me know your favorite part about this monster, but I'm going to let you know about my personal favorite part, that being these sweet wings. Now, these guys, I don't know if the camera is doing it justice or not, but they're semi-transparent. You can almost see through them. They have this nice little darker part of the membrane in here that blocks out some of the light, or being able to see completely through it, but it's still underneath. You can still kind of see through it. So that's just a cool feature. Anything like that just adds another layer to any sort of collectible figure, and just pretty much means that throughout the day at different points of light, it may look different. So that's another cool little bonus to getting this as a collectible. Now, of course, I'd definitely say this bad boy would look great on your shelf, but it can do a whole lot more than be just a collectible. This is one of the more sturdy figures in the Titanic Creations line. If you have a little one in your life who likes to play with monster toys, I would definitely recommend Griffixis as a great toy, as well as just something that they can enjoy later in life when it's more of a collectible. As they grow older, they'll still think it's cool, but I wouldn't throw it around completely. Of course, it still could break. The wings, they have a little give to them, and the tail has a little give. But yeah, really, this is the most compact one out of the whole line, and I think that will allow kids to have a lot of fun, really. The four-legged, very animal-like design of Griffixis really will allow people to see it and kind of recognize, like, oh, that's actually something that you could see here on planet Earth. And that's a nice little bonus, I think, with Griffixis, because in reality, the whole idea of this character is that it takes on aspects of the most badass predators on whatever planet it's invading to become like the ultimate being. So the fact that it has the body of a lion and the wings of an eagle, it just really looks cool, and I think it'll allow also children to be like, oh, that's like the cool lion dragon thing. So definitely a bonus just on the simplistic, recognizable design. And if you're into the old like medieval and mythological tales, this really does look like a griffin, or like a griffin dragon hybrid thing. So if you're into that sort of style of world, this kind of fits in as well. You could put this up with your dragons and your knights and all that, and I feel like people will just be like, hey, cool dragon. Now, Griffixis sacrifices range of movement in order to be a little bit more durable and compact and friendly for children. But it does still have 5 points of articulation. Each one of the legs has a basic up and down, back and forth sort of movement. The back legs kind of twist and pivot. Pivot! And his tail can do a complete 360, but I would say be careful with that because the tail will come out, but he can easily go back in the hole and be just fine. But yeah, just 5 points of, oh my god, I broke his leg. So yeah, 5 points of articulation. Griffixis is a compact, sturdy, and child-friendly figure. So, I forgot the kick-ass box art. Griffixis can be yours right now for a special sale if you go down and use the link down below. I'll have it listed in the description and I'll pin it in a comment or something. And you can pre-order Griffixis to be available to you around March of this year, 2022. So you get on top of the game, you get a nice little deal, and you get to have a very cool collectible, and you complete the entire Titanic Creations original line of figures, that being Titanicus, Nosferodon, Scurius, and of course, Griffixis. Griffixis is a simple monster that's said to be one of the most powerful beings in the entire galaxy of this particular universe. And this is just an appearance that the creature took on in its own story, not necessarily in the Monsterverse. If Griffixis was to indeed join the Monsterverse, he would take on all of the best aspects of every single Titan, including Kong and Godzilla and Ghidorah, every single one of them. He would be able to find a power from each of them that would make it the most powerful thing to ever exist. So if you like the Titanic Creations line of figures, and you like Dangerville, and you like Goji Center, and you like Dope Pope, and you like Kaiju News Outlet over on Twitter, you guys are going to be super excited to know that we have a little surprise for you guys. So I'll let you take a guess of what all of us are working on for you all, and we'll let you guys know more about that when we know a little bit more on it. So comment down below what you think we're all getting into this year. I bet you can kind of assume what I'm getting at. And then the tail can swing all around, complete 360, and then fall off.